Good morning. The jump from 58 to 4 seconds always is a trip for me.
Mhm. I don't wanna wait a minute.
You not wanna wait?
Mm-mm. Nor does anyone else.
Oh, okay, well, that's probably true.
I don't think I'm unique in this. Oh, we are here today to answer questions, and there are so many.
Mhm.
And I have an interview right after this to interview somebody about their trip, so we have kind of a hard out to get through these. I do wanna clarify one thing that has come up here and on Instagram, which is about the rider switch during early entry.
Okay.
Because we had a question last week about can you use rider switch during early entry? And we thought maybe you can get it during early entry, but the lightning lane's not open, so you may not be able to redeem it till regular park opening. But I've gotten multiple confirmations that you can not only get it, but also redeem it
Very
during early entry.
very good.
So,
We need to borrow a baby.
yeah, we can't test the kids stuff. That be kind of creepy. So we have to rely on you guys to help us out. But that is the clarification. Is there anything else to talk about before we jump into the questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. There's a lot fewer miscellaneous questions these days.
Dang it.
So we're going to start with the one and only, which is will you see Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu?
Mm, maybe. Maybe. I liked the Mandalorian on Disney Plus. I liked that, and I've liked most of the Star Wars things, but some of the more recent things, aside from The Mandalorian, I haven't been as into. So I imagine I could foresee myself on a date night there, with the trade-off being that we also go see The Devil Wears Prada too.
That's called balance.
Mhm.
I will not be seeing it. I'm not a Star Wars person, but I do think Baby Yoda is so cute. General questions. What happens if I can't use my 4-day base ticket in time? We need more rest days in between.
Well, you have 7 days on a 4-day ticket, and that's kind of, a hard rule there. So your only other option would maybe be adding Park Hopper, which you'd have to pay for, which would get you 1 more day. Um, Otherwise, you're kinda stuck with the 7 days.
I was wondering if this person thought you had to do 4 parks in 4 days,
Maybe,
but you don't.
don't. You have 7 days to use it, and if you
So
do
you,
want 1 more day, add a Park Hopper, and you'd have 1 more day.
okay. How do you think the SHRM 26 conference in June will affect overall crowds that week? Not so we I think we might have the only crowd calendar that explains why we predict the things that we do. Like this event is happening, but we're only mentioning the very biggest events that impact crowds.
Yes, and
So
I looked at this one and I think don't even think it's on Disney property.
yeah. So a lot of people are coming to Orlando or Disney World for a conference and they're like, how does my event affect the crowds? And it's like, it's probably not.
Mhm.
And that's why we can't take every single one in consideration because a lot of them aren't big enough to make that kind of change to the crowds. We only look at the biggest ones.
Yeah.
I'm planning to try Crescent Lake fishing excursion this August. Any advice for booking?
I
I think that's a midnight booking.
Yes, and I don't feel like the fishing excursions are as popular for bookings as other things. Um,
Mm-mm.
so if it's an absolute must do, book it as soon as it opens is probably your best bet, but I wouldn't be worried too much about it selling out immediately. And if for any reason you try to book it and it's not showing up or you're not able to, give it some time because I could also see that this being one of those weird ones that Disney doesn't load or allow, even though they say bookings are at 60 days, they're not always available right at 60 days. So you might have to keep trying.
Mm-hmm. Want to add 2 days before check-in, but no more rooms available with the promo. Can that change or call?
I just went through this on my last trip. And I ended up having to have just 2 separate bookings because rooms never became available to add on with my promo. If you run into that, definitely call. They will try to help you and find anything that they can do to add on. But if it's not possible and you end up with 2 separate reservations, have them note on there that this is a continuing reservation, and then you will want to visit the front desk when you arrive to make sure that you don't have to move rooms. But it may just be that all the rooms that were available for that promo at that resort are no longer available, and you're going to have to pay rack rate and have 2 separate reservations.
Usually calling doesn't do anything different than the website does. They have access to the same inventory. Same with travel agents. Some people think booking with travel agents gives you access to something different. It's all the same pool.
Yeah.
When will 2027 crowd calendar be up?
That's a great question. You don't even know this, Shannon, but I have a preliminary one ready to look at. So hopefully we can connect today and take a look at that. My goal, and I'm putting this out here into the universe, is to have it up by Friday, like by the end
Ooh,
of the workday Friday. That is my goal, and that kind of depends on if we're able to sit down and actually talk through some of it. So we will try to carve out some time to do that, but preliminary stuff is done.
okay. Let's do that this afternoon.
Okay.
When would you expect deals for the end of the year to drop?
In our discount and promotion tool, it will show you when those are expected to drop and what they have been in the past. So if you're looking to see what deals have been available in years past and the dates that those have usually been dropped, that's a great place to go.
Okay. I just put a link to that in the comments. Sometimes it doesn't come through when I post it here, but I am trying to post it. Okay. Crowds over Memorial Day and following week. What would be the lowest Magic Kingdom crowds? We will be there.
Yeah.
Use the park picker tool is what I would
Yeah.
say.
That's what I would say too. Park picker.
Park picker tool. Use our park picker tool. You might be surprised at Memorial Day not being as busy as you would think.
Yeah, it's busy, but it's not like the other holidays.
Have crowd calendar predictor calendars
Calendars.
changed due to a couple of openings on the 26th? I'm going the 25th.
I don't know that the overall crowds change significantly. There definitely will be some movement, especially because of Rock and Roller Coaster reopening. The other things that are starting or opening on that day are not as big of a draw. You're going to definitely see bloggers and people that are there to check it out.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. But us included. But it's those things that are going to be around for a long time, like Rock and Roller Coaster, that are permanent installations. Rock and Roller Coaster and the new show at Hollywood Studios, the new Playhouse Disney one. Those are going to be probably a little bit more important for people to check out, and will definitely bring in the crowds. But otherwise, I don't know that it's going to be too significant of changes. Busier, but not something that it would force me to want to change a trip.
Nope. Can't get to water park on check-in day until 4 p.m. Worth trying. I don't know what the closing time would be, but you can often only spend a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's, especially if you aren't planning to do anything else that day, why not? It's free and it's something to do to get you right into the Disney magic. And even if you only spent, like Shannon said, a couple hours or 90 minutes there, you'd probably still have fun. And the crowds by that time of the day will probably be not huge.
Yeah, I am looking up I don't know when this person's going, but I'm just picking a random day in the summer and seeing when it is. What are the hours for this? Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach, open till 7. So you could go 4 to 7 and you would probably be low crowds. Yeah.
I would
Totally
do it.
would do it. Me too. Going week of December 6th, when do we need to start booking dining events, etc.?
Exactly 60 days before your check-in date.
Yes. Lightning, let's see. We have the ideal Disney World planning timeline. So that's what we're going to go with. So you basically got your hotel that you should book as soon as possible. And then you have all your like events. So refer to the link. Has anyone noticed that a lot of these have links that answer the questions? Go on the website and type in your question and probably find an article. Does the Christmas party season affect extended evening hours for deluxe guests at Magic Kingdom? Are they still offered? It does affect it.
It does.
They'll be somewhere else, basically.
Yeah. And it's not just during Christmas party season, it's during party season period at Magic Kingdom, it shifts the pattern for extended evening hours. And Disney will utilize the other parks during that time.
Mm-hmm. Upgrading tickets need to do before scanning into the last park or during the last day on the ticket. You need to have at least one day left
Hmm.
before, and then you can upgrade. Can't you upgrade it in the app?
Yes, you can upgrade in the app now.
Yeah, so just upgrade in the app. You used to have to go to guest services. Does after hours or extended evening hours affect crowd levels?
Extended evening hours definitely has an impact on it, and that's because you have to have a park ticket for that day in the park, or you have to have a park hopper or an annual pass. So there is a slight increase in crowds for the parks that have the extended evening hours because everybody who is eligible to go who doesn't have a park hopper ticket will go to that park. At least people who want to participate in it. After hours in general do not have an impact because they take place after the park is closed and is a separately ticketed event. So you have to have a separate ticket.
Mm-hmm. What is the best way to get to the water parks from Caribbean Beach Resort? Is it worth getting an Uber for ease? I would get an Uber for ease because going to either water park involves a connection. So there are buses. If you go to Typhoon Lagoon, the bus will take you to Disney Springs, and then you will connect there to a Typhoon Lagoon bus. If you go to Blizzard Beach, it takes you to Animal Kingdom, and then there you connect to a Blizzard Beach bus. And so especially coming back, I don't want to be in a wet swimsuit and all that, sitting in freezing buses and having to connect. I would personally get an Uber, but you can use Disney buses if you want. Do you anticipate water parks to be crowded on Tuesday, the 26th?
Maybe. I mean, the water parks in general aren't usually overly crowded compared to the parks, and how busy they are isn't doesn't fluctuate as much. Now, that is when the freebie day starts. But remember, people have to actually get to Disney World first before they can get into the park. So the earlier in the day, if you're worried about the crowds, the earlier in the day that you can go, probably the less the crowds will be.
What time to request a minivan from Caribbean Beach Resort to Rope Drop Magic Kingdom first week in March? I mean, there's limited supply
Hmm.
of the minivans, and I think they start at 6:30, and you cannot schedule them ahead of time. So I would probably be inclined to hop on right before 6:30 and start requesting.
Yeah. Earlier the better. I'm not sure for the minivans. I know for the buses, they won't even let them into the lot there, the drop-off location, until a certain time.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about the minivans, but if you absolutely want to use a minivan, I would say think the earlier the better.
Mm-hmm. First park day. We have a lot of questions about this time
Mhm.
period, don't we? First park day, May 26th. What to expect with all the new things regarding crowds? I feel like we maybe talked about this.
Yeah. The new things are going to be busy. Bluey's going to be busy. Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be busy. The new show at Hollywood Studios, the new Playhouse Disney show, is going to be busy. Um, but otherwise, the other parts of the park probably aren't going to be significantly busy. Or the only park that I have a feeling might be busier than what we would have expected will be Hollywood Studios because it's got several big things opening. The other ones, just the specific location where the new things are, look for those to be busy.
I want all these people to say hi if they see us.
Yes.
We'll be there. Least worst week in 2027 to visit Disney World for a teacher, President's Day, Easter, or Christmas. Those are the busiest times of the whole year, depending on, well, no, President's Day, Easter, or Christmas. Yeah, they're all busy.
Yeah, I might lean more into Easter just because of it tends to, before, like, you have the people who go for Easter the week before, and you have people who go for Easter the week after. So that can maybe spread things out a little bit more as opposed to Christmas and President's Day, which are more finite on the days when people visit. So maybe then.
I'll throw out another idea, which is to go the week before Christmas, because it's the week after Christmas that is the busiest, and the week
Yeah.
before Christmas often even has free dining.
Yes, but being a teacher, that may not be as easy. So I guess depends on
It
when your break is.
it does depend when school gets out for you. What time do Halloween tickets go on sale? Usually in the morning, but one of the things I want people to know is that they're not going to sell out in the matter of 5 minutes.
Mm-mm.
Like Halloween Day is the most popular. It sells out the fastest. And even that one can take a week. So I wouldn't set an alarm. I would just get them when I get them that day.
Yeah.
Besides riding rides, tell me your favorite things to do at the Halloween party. Well, we don't ride rides during the
I
Halloween party
was gonna
usually.
say that's one of our least favorite things, aside from the overlays, like Space Mountain overlay, amazing.
Yes. We always like People Mover because it gives a good view, and that's not an overlay. It's just we like the People Mover. But Space Mountain is fun. But it's the parade
Yeah.
that we
Parade is best too.
parade and fireworks are really great. A lot of people like the stage show. I'm just personally not a stage show person because you have to be so close in order to kind of see it. And then the character meets.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting characters. So those would be the top ones. I'm going to do a YouTube video soon about planning for the Halloween party. So we'll talk more about it. What time do the party tickets normally go on sale? Okay, that would be in the morning usually. I'm attending a Halloween party. What park would you do the day of the party?
I would do one where you don't mind not spending an entire day there. Because if your plan is to do a park in the morning and do the Halloween party and last throughout the whole thing, you're probably going to want a break in there somewhere. So somewhere where you don't mind spending a partial day. So either a park where you have 2 days planned or something like Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I would rope drop Animal Kingdom, come back at lunch, and then head to the Halloween park. Or I would actually do no park that day.
Yeah.
But if you're asking, Animal Kingdom. Is it crazy? Is it a crazy idea to go to a Halloween party on Halloween night? No. Most of the parties, if not all of them, will be sold out. And so in that way, Halloween night is no different than all the other nights because sold out is sold out. So go for it. There's not a lot going on for Halloween at Disney World. So if you want Halloween vibes, this is a good way to do it. We're hopping to Magic Kingdom now. Birthday evening, August 11th. No Magic Kingdom now, thanks to Halloween party. What park would you end in?
I mean, if it was my birthday, it'd probably be ending at Epcot.
I would get yourself a Geo 82 reservation at around 8 p.m.
Yes, if you're adult only.
If you're adults only. Yeah, don't take a kid. Yeah, Epcot. Animal Kingdom's not going to be open. So that narrows it down pretty fast, doesn't it? Not attending Halloween party on August 18th. Is Magic Kingdom on a party day still the move so early in the season?
Yes. Yeah, because people will skip it because they want to do the fireworks, rightfully so. But if fireworks aren't a must-do or you have multiple days for Magic Kingdom and you can do one day where it's not a party day and one day where it is, you're going to really maximize your Magic Kingdom time that way.
Oh, yeah, most of these Magic Kingdom questions could be called not Halloween party. Like most of these Magic Kingdom questions are about not going to Halloween party, including this one. With the Halloween party on Tuesday and Friday, which day do you recommend Magic Kingdom to see Happily Ever After and Starlight? I would recommend using the Park Picker tool.
Agreed.
Because one of the options on there is that fireworks are a must-see, and so it rearranges your days accordingly. Magic Kingdom during the Halloween party, no party ticks. Best Magic Kingdom day will have 2 days. Avoid party days. No, go on party days.
At least once.
Yes. The only downside to going on a party day is that it closes early and you won't see fireworks, but the crowds are low.
Yeah.
Does Festival of Fantasy Parade sometimes run at noon in addition to 3 o'clock? Yes.
Yes. It just depends on the time of the year. Busier times of the year will have the double parades. Less busy times of the year doesn't.
Correct. Will the private event at Magic Kingdom on May 13th make it a lower crowd day? Yes. And the Park Picker tool reflects that.
Yes. And there's also, is it Hollywood Studios that has one too?
In June.
June. So same thing. Exactly the same as what happens with the party day at Magic Kingdom. If the park closes earlier, people will tend to avoid it because they want to be able to stay for the whole day. The trade-off for that is that during the daytime, the park is usually less busy. You can get a lot more done.
Good for rides. Low weights on rides. Okay. Is Beacon Barrel worth it with kids 9, 4, and 6? You might have to stand. And there are kid options on the menu.
Yeah.
Plus you can order soda off menu if you want. So I don't know.
I if you just want something new and different to do and you don't mind paying for expensive pre-mixed drinks to the things that are cool, like the parrot animatronic. Some of them are kind of around corners, and like Shannon said, you might have to share a table with somebody else.
Mhm.
And you might have to stand. So I don't know. I don't know that it would necessarily be worth it. I wouldn't be a must do. Maybe a nice if you can add it, but not a must do.
If just popping in for fireworks, can you watch from the top of the Magic Kingdom train station? That area used to be a great
Mhm.
spot, but it's reserved for VIP guests. That's where many of them watch. So, no. But you can watch underneath the train station.
Yes, and anywhere along Main Street, I have found is kind of cool because they do the projections on the buildings now, and it just gives you a little bit different perspective, and it's easier to see the projections from on Main Street to see the Main Street projections as opposed to a crappy spot in the hub where you can't see the projections. So,
Is it hard to get a minivan lift after Magic Kingdom fireworks? It is very competitive. What I
mhm.
often do is request it while walking down Main Street. And that way we can hopefully give it time to arrive. And if I can't get one, then we know to go to the bus stop.
Yes, or option B is to walk over to the Contemporary or Bay Lake Tower and request a lift from over there.
Hmm. Yeah, you're not going to, yeah, minivans will pick you up at the front of Magic Kingdom, but all other rideshare has to pick you up at a resort.
Mhm.
Tips for Magic Kingdom After Hours predictions how Big Thunder will be on May the 4th at After Hours. Well, we do have lots of After Hours tips. This is another one of those. There's an article.
Yeah, I imagine that it will be a popular one. That one might be one that might be tempted to jump into line for before after hours actually starts. Like, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes before the park closes, jumping in line. And that way you're not eating up all of your after hours standing in line for it.
Mhm.
So that you can hit a lot of the other rides. But I imagine that Big Thunder Mountain and Tron will both we know Tron's busy, but both of those are good if you can knock those out before after hours starts, or at least be in line for them before after hours starts. It really makes it easier to knock out a bunch of other rides during the actual event itself.
One more Magic Kingdom question. Going in August for a short trip, would you do Magic Kingdom the morning of the party or go to the party?
Mm,
Um, oh,
it's
it's a choice
yeah.
between a daytime park ticket or a Halloween party park ticket.
It depends on if you're in it for the rides or the vibes.
If you care about fireworks, the daytime ticket's not going to give you that.
Mm-mm.
But if you do the Halloween party, you get Halloween fireworks, Halloween parade, plus you can go on the rides. You don't need lightning lanes, or you can't get lightning lanes. So maybe Halloween party.
Mhm.
Epcot questions. Epcot the day before Food and Wine starts for lower crowds. I don't know that it's going to matter. It's August is low crowds anyway.
Yeah, I agreed. I don't know that it matters too much.
Can a non-annual pass holder use the annual pass holder lounge at Epcot this summer with an annual pass holder? Like if you were taking your husband, could he go in?
I'm trying to remember how it works. Do they scan one in the group?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We're both annual pass holders.
I know it's been a while since I've been without an annual pass holder.
Mhm.
So that's a great question. Maybe somebody who remembers can chime in the comments because I sure don't remember.
Want to see the 4th of July fireworks at Epcot from non-park restaurant Topolino's? I mean, that's your only choice, I think.
Yeah, the Epcot fireworks are more difficult to see from outside the park than the Magic Kingdom fireworks. The number of places where you can actually see it is very limited. So Topolino's might be your best bet. Just know that you're only going to see the ones that shoot up the highest, and it's not going to be the same thing as maybe what you might expect from watching the fireworks for Magic Kingdom outside the park.
Mm-hmm. Is there still 2 scavenger hunts at Flower and Garden?
There is when it starts, but after after Easter, the Easter one goes away. So there is just the Spikes Pollination Scavenger Hunt or whatever it's called.
Any Epcot fireworks cruise experience? Yes.
Yes.
We love the Epcot fireworks cruise because it feels like you're in the show.
Yeah, you are literally like, it feels like you're floating right there next to where the fireworks are going off. I think it's definitely a good option if you're looking for something special to do, especially if you have people that you can split the cost with, if you're traveling with other people or you have a group that's big enough. But even if you don't, it's a lot of fun.
Right. One last Epcot one. Do you have a printable checklist of the Flower and Garden topiaries?
We do. In fact, there's an entire post just dedicated to the
Yeah.
topiaries.
Yeah, I'm linking to it. Again, look, if you could search the website, you don't even have to wait for us to answer. Let's do Hollywood Studios. Going in January, never done Fantasmic. Is it worth it in the cold weather?
The fire parts are worth it.
we have frozen a few times in January. I would just say dress appropriately,
And don't sit close.
And it might be warm.
Yes, sit further back. You don't want to sit anywhere in the mist zone where that misty water is going to hit you. So sit further back.
Last weekend, Heather and I were watching World of Color California Adventure. We were freezing. And we had to back up because we didn't want the water to spray us. It still did. How worth it is it to do Fantasmic VIP? Got the dining plan, but dinner is at 4:50 p.m. Not ideal. So the Fantasmic dining package, one of the things about it is it often gives you weird dining times. I don't think 4:50 is that bad though for Fantasmic dining package because sometimes it'll be 3:00.
Yeah, I mean it saves you from having to worry about lining up extra early, especially if you're looking for a better than average seat, and if you were already planning to have a table service dinner, it's not really that much extra. So
a credit is a credit.
Yeah.
I would do it because, I would do it. Do you think Bluey will have a big impact on Animal Kingdom waits? Will it use Lightning Lane? It will not use Lightning Lane, but it will be popular. It's just that you have to take a train to get back there. So there's a bit of a bottleneck.
Yeah. Which it's not ideal. And I'm very curious to see how Disney will handle it because even before Bluey was there, that train line can get long.
Watch them open a walking path. You know how at the Universal parks you can take the Hogwarts Express between, but there's also a walking path? Watch Disney do this with
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Nope. Potential Animal Kingdom plan with meeting Bluey, a high priority for those of us going in late May, early June.
I would head there to be there for the second rope drop. If you're
second rope drop is regular park opening.
Yes, so for regular park opening. So do something or a couple somethings during early entry if you're staying on property and you have access to that. But then head over and be ready to head over to see Bluey after that. I'm assuming that they are going to open with park opening, which would make sense because they should know after Disneyland that it's going to be very popular.
We got caught up in the Bluey crowds at Disneyland.
Oh my gosh.
It was nuts. We just tried to go to the bathroom in that area. It was so busy. Okay. Lightning Lane questions. Is going to Magic Kingdom on May 3rd and wanting to grab Big Thunder Lightning Lane. Oh, if going to Magic Kingdom May 3rd and wanting to grab a Big Thunder Lightning Lane, Wait Magic or Standby Skipper. Either one, but this is one common question I wanted to clarify is that people think that you can use a tool to grab things before your trip and you cannot. So Wait Magic and Standby Skipper, for people that don't know, are Lightning Lane booking tools. Wait Magic has the added benefit of being able to modify as well. So if you have a Lightning Lane, you don't like the time, it will modify it. However, neither of these can get Lightning Lanes for you before your trip. Wait Magic can modify before your trip. So if before your trip, they're asking this because Big Thunder Lightning Lanes are showing as sold out. So you could use both, to be honest. While you're there at Disney World, you could have Wait Magic and Standby Skipper both searching, and whichever can snags it. But just they're not going to be able to snag it before you get there. Is it possible to make different Lightning Lane selections for people in your party?
Yes, you just will select who you want when you're making the selections. I would say though, um, make sure you're prioritizing getting your most difficult ones first. And if you've got one group that wants to do like Goofy's Barnstormer or something that's not super popular, save those ones for later and focus on the ones that are going to be the toughest ones to get, and then go back and make the ones that are going to be less difficult.
Group of 15, how to manage lightning lanes all together. What's the max? I'm not aware of a max.
I feel like though it might be like 12. I mean,
Is it? It was with Genie Plus. I'm just not sure now. But it's not as strict as dining. Like dining can sometimes max at 6 or 8.
I do feel like there's a max. I feel like it might be 12. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but I do feel like there is. And if there is, then you're going to have to divide and conquer and have two people who you are trustworthy and can handle the technology, and split them up. And all you have to have are lightning lanes that overlap, the times that overlap. So as long as they are overlapping times, you're going to be able to still ride together. They don't have to be exactly the same.
They don't. But if anyone has run into a max, can you please let us know, because we aren't sure on this one. Can you explain the rides and the different tiers for lightning lanes, please?
Okay. 3 of the 4 parks have tiers. Animal Kingdom does not have any tiers. That means you can book any 3 attractions that you want to at Animal Kingdom. The other 3 parks have tiers, a tier 1 and a tier 2. The tier 1s are the most popular rides in the park. So for Magic Kingdom, you're looking at things like Big Thunder Mountain, or Tiana's. At Hollywood Studios, it's Slinky Dog Dash. Like, these are the ones that are the most popular attractions. You can only book one tier 1 in advance. However, and then you book 2 of your tier 2s. Once you are in the park, the tiers no longer matter. When you book your additional ones, it can be either a tier 1 or tier 2. So the only thing you need to know about the tiers is that for pre-selection, it's 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2s.
How would you plan out lightning lanes for 2 days at Magic Kingdom? I just dropped the link to our Magic Kingdom lightning lane guides. We generally suggest dividing Magic Kingdom into sections. So day 1, you might be focusing on Fantasyland as a starter of the first part of the day, and day 2, you might be focused on Tomorrowland. Premier Pass for Hollywood Studios or Epcot, definitely doing Magic Kingdom.
Hollywood Studios.
Definitely Hollywood Studios. Definitely.
Without hesitation, Hollywood Studios.
They're the best for lightning lanes in general, including Premier Pass. Do you have a video that shows how Weight Magic works with screenshots? I have a video about Weight Magic and Stand by Skipper where I show some screenshots, but a lot of people have been asking me to do a walkthrough. So maybe I can do a more thorough one. People like to see the screens, how the screens look. Okay, we're going to hop over to resort questions. Magic Kingdom fireworks views from Wilderness Lodge.
They're okay. It's not going to be the same as watching from the Poly Beach. You're going to have some obstruction, but you can see some of the ones, especially the ones that are high up. It's just not going to be as perfect as one of the ones that are a little bit closer.
Favorite restaurants at Coronado? Everything except the food court.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 Bridges, if you just want a chill vibe and you don't mind sitting outside without air conditioning, which sounds like it's awful, but it's covered and you're right on the water. So I think that helps. What's the one that's upstairs? Why did I just blank on it? I can't remember.
Well, we blanked together because I wanted to say Topolino's, but
Me
it's
too.
not.
It's not Topolino's.
It's
got the Dahlia Lounge up there, right?
Yeah, we know that. Toledo.
Thank you. Why do they
that's
have
why.
2 restaurants that start with a T?
And an O. And an O.
Yeah.
Toledo is very nice and pretty. Yeah, no, we love dining at Coronado, just not the food court. Any tips for staying at Bonnet Creek?
I have really found that I like it for race weekends. It's a definite plus. I think anywhere that you're staying back there, I have been really impressed over the years how much better rideshare has gotten. So if you aren't going to have a car, or if you don't want to drive yourself to the parks, I would not hesitate to use the rideshare. I would not use the shuttles though.
And when to Bonnet Creek, used to not have parking fees. I don't know if they do now.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't taken a car, but
But if you have a car, that might be a nice perk of there.
mhm.
Planning to stay one night New Year's Eve, Swan as the best option on a budget, but near activities. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
I think it's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. We'll be staying there in a month.
Yeah.
Cabana worth it at the Grand Floridian, 3 adults, 2 kids, 2 and 7. I think we might have gotten that question last week.
And my same answer. If you're planning to spend all day at the pool and you want a home base, go for it.
For Halloween party, what hotels would be allowed to purchase on the May 5th date? I should have put this under the Halloween party category. Are moderates okay? Yes. All Disney owned resorts, values, deluxes, moderates, and Swan and Dolphin and Shades of Green.
Hmm.
What's your favorite Disney hotel in each category?
For value, Pop, although I want to call it Value Plus anymore because it's gotten more expensive, and specifically preferred at Pop for value. For a moderate, for me, Coronado Springs. For a deluxe, Beach Club or the Poly.
I think I agree. But also, you said Beach Club or Poly. I also really like the Contemporary.
Oh, yeah, that one too, and specifically Grand Destino at Coronado.
Yes. Okay. Just discover your resort highlights. Do you have one for Saratoga? So this person's actually talking about Instagram highlights. I feel like the DVC resorts we didn't go as detailed on. So maybe there isn't one for Saratoga, but maybe I could do that. Favorite resort for a 7 and 9-year-old plus a 7-month-old baby. Kids love a great pool. Let's see. Caribbean Beach Resort might be.
Yes, I would also throw out Art of Animation in a suite
Oh, yes.
with the 3 kids and the 7-month-old baby. That way you have a space for the littlest one to be sleeping while the rest of you can be awake without having to worry about maybe waking them up.
Mm-hmm.
And the pool there is great.
If you want deluxe, consider the Polynesian Studios because they have 2 bathroom spaces, and that can make it easier to just like get ready. But also sometimes people use that second bathroom space as a room for a baby.
Yeah, because a pack and play will fit inside there.
So you put a pack and play in the second bathroom space, close the door, and it's like they have their own little space.
Mm-hmm.
Renting DVC, 4 adults, 4 kids, September, 2-bedroom Poly or 2-bedroom Beach Club. Polynesian's new Beach Club, better location. Well, Polynesian has good location too.
Yes. And I will also throw out there that I'm not an expert at exactly where every room type for the DVC is at Beach Club, but I did have a long discussion with Jenny, who works with us, about Beach Club DVC. And she pointed out that there are some rooms there that are not in a great spot. And you can be very far away from the DVC for Beach Club. So although it looks like it should be better, you may end up with a room that's further away. So the bad thing about the Poly, I don't know if they're talking about the tower option or if they're talking about the regular village ones. The tower ones can be far away from transportation. So I think definitely pros and cons for both. I would maybe go with which vibe you feel better about because they're very different. And yeah, I would say it either though.
TBA. Yeah. I mean, given the opportunity, that'd be fine. But I think Polynesian in the villas section would be my preference because it's a good spot. Dining. If you have a character breakfast at 8 a.m., do they let you in early? But what is CC?
Cinderella's Castle.
Oh, okay. CRT.
Yes,
Cinderella's Royal Table. Yes, they will let you in. So everybody can get in Magic Kingdom early, even offsite guests. Everyone gets in the front. But what happens is you have to stop at the hub in front of the castle if you don't have a dining reservation and you don't have early entry. So you just stay there, which means you have access to Main Street. You can take pictures. You can get coffee. But in your case, you'll be able to go beyond the hub because you have a dining reservation.
Yes, and they will have people with like signs on a pole. So look for cast members with like signage on a pole, and that will direct you to where you need to go.
Right. There will be a cast member that has an early entry
Mhm.
information, and then dining reservations. So no problem. Do we think they will extend dining discounts to 2027? We have no way of knowing.
No, I mean, they already did. Did they already do something with the 2027 packages with dining?
No, because 2027 just came out.
But you know how they have kids dine free now?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I was thinking free dining and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Yes. I think that is included. I don't know. We should look.
I know. You know, I promise we know these things. It's just that when you're going rapid fire on some of them, you start to second guess yourself. But I feel like there was something with dining with the 2027 packages.
Okay. Can you confirm? Okay.
Yeah.
Best cocktails at resorts and parks. Okay. So admittedly, we are more like I like beer and wine. Heather likes, what would you say? Beer.
Beer.
Cocktails, kind of the sugar kind of adds up if you have too many. But we do tend to like La Cava, and we like the margaritas at La Cava, even though we're not really margarita tequila people. She gets the mezcal avocado one, and I get the non-mezcal avocado one. We also like a lot of the drinks at Nomad Lounge. There are some really specialty ones at GO82 and Epcot. There is baseline is beer, but that's where we like to go for drinks there. And then Magic Kingdom, nothing really.
There's nothing. I do have an update.
Yes.
There is not kids dine free.
Okay.
The new dining thing, and that was in my brain, was the fact that they're bringing back the deluxe dining in some way. I knew there was some dining thing connected to the new packages, but
Okay. But stay tuned for promos, but there's no promos yet. They got to see how many people. They got to see how many people book at full price first.
Yeah.
Dining plan. SS with dining plan.
Split stay with dining plan. Do credits
right.
from stay
Do
one
credits from stay one expire at midnight or when check-in at resort 2. They do expire at midnight. Your benefits from any stay expire at midnight, which means that you're going to have an overlap.
Yeah.
So you'll have both on that switch day. People are using acronyms that I've never seen before, but the little question marks is so limited. I think they're having to invent acronyms.
Yeah.
How willing are restaurants to modify others, like add an extra cheeseburger pod? I'll pay. I mean, you can always ask.
Yeah. But for like special things like that, you're probably going to have to try ordering in person and not order through the app, because you're just not going to have the option to do it. You can always try. And if you run into something where, always check the kids meal options too. If this is not something that they will do, just by adding something to an adult meal, check the kids meal options, because sometimes they have the exact same thing and it's less expensive because it's smaller portion sizes, and it may be exactly what you need if you want to just add on one thing.
Is the Hollywood Brown Derby Cobb salad shareable? Not for us.
Yeah. It is huge. Now, this is a little tip that I also got from Jenny on this last trip, because there's the indoor dining at Hollywood Brown Derby, and then there's also the lounge outside. The lounge outside used to have its own separate menu. They do not now. It is only full size everything, but it does not have the bread service. I think the Cobb salad becomes more shareable when you have the bread service and you have something else that's a part of it. You could then opt to dine inside and get the bread service, but she's also had success asking outside if she can have bread service outside as well, which only seems fair if you're paying the exact same price and you're not getting air conditioning. I feel like they should toss some rolls your way.
Seriously.
Yeah. So
they used to have a small version of the Cobb salad, and we would then get that at the lounge, and now it's just full size. But I mean, it is big.
It's huge.
We love it. So
yeah.
Okay. We are hopping to the West Coast for Disneyland. Oogie Boogie or the Halloween Party. So they have some similarities. Like when watching Oogie Boogie, you might be like, oh, that parade looks very familiar. I would say the Halloween Party at Magic Kingdom is family, and Oogie Boogie feels more adult.
1,000% adult only. Oogie Boogie, if you're going with your whole family, Mickey's Not So Scary.
Also, I love that this is their choice. Headed to Disneyland in July. Magic bands are out. Shouldn't buy. Yeah, they just confirmation this morning that Disneylands are out. You can still use them though. So if you have one for Disney World, you can take it to Disneyland. Most people there do not use Magic Bands. You can use your phone. That's what Heather and I just did when we were there.
Yeah, it's kind of a hassle. Like, there's a whole nother step where you have to connect your Magic Band when you get there. There not as many attractions that use lightning lanes there. Their entry system, their tap styles, they take a photo of your face. So there's lots of reasons why Magic Bands just weren't a really great fit out there. They were trying for that synergy, and it didn't work.
It's different culture.
Mm-hmm.
Are there special promos at certain times of the year for Disneyland like there are for Disney World? Sure. You might want to check the Mouse Savers website. They have a list of promos for Disneyland. Last Disneyland question. We'll love to hear about the Amtrak and cruise experience at Disneyland.
It was
good.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other than the fact that I had way too many bags to carry, it was perfect. So in San Diego, the Amtrak station is 2 blocks from the cruise terminal. So we literally just walked over there, and we had 10 a.m. tickets, which was plenty of time to get over there. We had upgraded to business class. It was only $44 a person, and then had the loveliest ride, a lot of it on the ocean.
Yes.
It took about 2 hours.
Yeah, a little over 2 hours. I think if we were doing it again, I would pick a seat on the other side. So you're on this side of the coast. Although we still could see plenty from our side. And there's a Starbucks across the street from the train station. So if you need a coffee or something while you're waiting, that was super convenient. Yeah, all in all, it was a great experience. I will also say that the experience of doing the Amtrak from Seattle to Vancouver was another lovely one because you're going up along the coast. I think it's part of that whole same line. So, yeah, if you get the opportunity to do it and you are thinking about doing a land and sea on the West Coast, it's lovely.
Coincidentally, San Diego and Vancouver, the 2 places that you just mentioned, are where the only places the Wonder is going out of. So wherever the Wonder is, associate it with Amtrak.
Yes.
Okay, a couple of Disney cruise questions to finish us out. Are inside the cruise ships cold, like air conditioning? Yeah, they can be.
They can be, and sometimes they can be warm though. It depends on where you're sailing at.
Yeah, I think the pub on the Wonder was the coldest place on the planet last week. It was so cold.
We were definitely chilled, but there's also been times especially when we were in the Caribbean, where our cabins never get cool enough because people on your section are leaving their sliding doors open, and that hurts the air conditioning for an entire section of a cruise ship. So don't do that to your fellow cruisers. Like, you may want to listen to the water and be able to hear that while you're lying in bed, but that messes up the air conditioning for whole sections of the cruise ship. So it just kind of depends on where you're sailing, but they can be cool. Always bring a jacket. It's not going to hurt.
Last question. If the passport picture gets denied for DCL online check-in, can you still get on board? So when you do your online check-in and you hit submit, it's not final until they email you that it's final. And I have had my passport, they're calling it a passport picture. It's actually a picture that is separate from your passport. I had it denied and I just had to resubmit. So you should watch your email for the status, and then you can resubmit beforehand. So you will be able to get on board, but watch your email. Yeah. Let's see what kind of comments we have. Once you purchase your park tickets, are you able to call Disney and upgrade or change dates?
You can upgrade, yes. But you can do a lot of it just inside the app. So I would check there first for whatever you're needing to do.
Mm-hmm. My husband thinks that quote unquote beach holidays are always slower than people think at Disney. We've been there for the 4th 2 years in a row, and it's been so easy. And I hear the same for Memorial Day. Yes. And Labor Day. Do you have a preference on either water park? We have different preferences. Heather likes Blizzard Beach. I like Typhoon Lagoon. We are arriving on November 21st, the last day of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Is it worth it to attend on that day? Sure. It's the same.
Yeah, Disney. It's not like they get to the end of the festival and they're like, well, we're out of everything. That's not the case. The only thing that they might be out of is some merch, but also they heavily discount the merch usually at the end, like 20%, well, like heavily, like 20% off usually.
I'm always confused on the wording of having 1 day left to upgrade. We upgraded to annual passes during our last park day. Nice. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, and also important to know that when you upgrade your annual pass, it reverts back to the first day you use that ticket. So when you upgrade an annual pass doesn't matter so much unless you're just trying to hold on to your money longer. But if you started your ticket on the 1st and you upgrade it on the 7th, your annual pass starts on the 1st.
I got a minivan from Caribbean Beach Resort last Thursday, and I was dropped off at the walkway by the Contemporary. Believe it or not, I watched the Caribbean Beach Resort bus pull up first of the morning, and everybody got off the bus before we were let through the walkway. May not be necessary to take a minivan.
Yeah, it goes back to that what I was saying about how they don't let like buses and things into that bus drop off area. So what I'm guessing happened is that the minivan went ahead and just dropped off, and then after that that area opened and the bus was able to get in there and drop off. But then you also have to be sure that you are on the very first bus of the day.
Another Andy says they don't let the minivans into Magic Kingdom until the buses can get in, but they can drop you off at the Contemporary and just walk over. So that is good information to know.
Yeah,
If you're gonna be that early, I guess the bus might make sense.
yeah.
All right. Will you be able to preview the new Soarin' when you go?
Yeah.
Yes. We have lots of things to do. Any idea when the artist performing for Food and Wine might be announced?
I don't think we're too far off from that. They don't change dramatically. Like the artists themselves don't change dramatically. There's usually like a few new ones. It's just the dates, the weekends that they perform might switch around a little bit. Have to see who's still alive.
Oh my God, that's so dark. Chris says, has free water park entry significantly increased crowds on the weekends? No. Because most people check in on the weekends. I understand. The water parks just aren't that crazy busy.
No, I really think that Universal's they have some, fantastic water park, and I think that has drawn a lot of the locals maybe that direction, which has made it easier for Disney to offer this perk. It will get busier. Like there's no way around that. They just get busier. It's free, but as I said earlier, keep in mind that you have to actually it be on your arrival day. So the earlier in the day you can go, the less busier it's going to be.
If we book February 9th through the 13th, 2027, will we make it for Festival of the Arts? Yes. Usually it is going on through those dates.
Yeah.
Rebecca says, with all the questions about May 26th, I'm curious which park or parks will you guys be at that day? We have a park pass reservation at Hollywood Studios. And that's where we will be trying to get lighting lanes as well. No, they will not let non-APs in. Was that the question? My hubby had to stand outside while I got my photo shot. Okay. All right. Thank you for confirming.
Good to know. Also, sorry for your hubby.
You're not allowed to go in the AP lounge unless you're an AP. They're not allowed to bring guests. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Wait Magic can swap lighting lanes. So modify your lighting lane to something else, just not book a new one. Okay. Christine says we did 14 people with lightning lanes this past week. I think Christine is the person I'm about to talk to in a post-trip interview in a few minutes. There's multiple Christine Smiths.
We're hurrying.
Would love a walkthrough video of Wait Magic and Standby Skipper. Okay. Noted. Magic Kingdom morning with Crystal Palace reservation at 10:25. Planning on early entry rope drop buzz. Should I get a burner lighting lane to use 9 to 10 or just focus on the second rope drop? Yeah, get a burner. And then tap in for that at like regular park time.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, the burner should be something you actually want to ride.
Yes, burner feels like it's something that you don't care about. Make it something that you care about so you're not wasting it, and then grab something else immediately.
Mm-hmm. How effective are the walk-up wait lists for a party of 5? We like a lot of table service restaurants, but hate having to overschedule dining reservations, plus interferes with lighting lane availability. Yeah, I think this is a great point. I mean, it just depends what they have available.
And how flexible you are. The less off-peak times you can eat. And if you're not super picky about your restaurant, you're going to have better choices and better options.
Mm-hmm. Cinderella's Royal Table event during the Halloween party worth it? We do not recommend because it takes up so much time. Will May 26th be busy for water parks? I think we answered that one in the normal Q&A questions. Karen says, what dates will you be at the parks again at the end of May? I'm there the 28th through June 3rd. Maybe I'll run into you guys. Yeah, and we do meetups too with patrons. So we have a meetup scheduled during this time. Heather's there on May 26th through the 31st, and I am there May 26th through June 3rd. Okay. All right. We're coming in under an hour, which means I have time to get to my next interview.
Ooh.
So anyway, thanks for joining today. Hopefully that helped somebody with their trip. We've learned, and we're learning together on some of these topics.
Yeah, no doubt. Sometimes I feel so dumb, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't have to remember everything, right?
Yes. So anyway, thank you for joining. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about something. We got it. Let's go brainstorm.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.